The fact that everyone's doing something does not make it a good idea. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about something called peer pressure. Now, you've probably heard that term, peer pressure, and it basically just means doing what everybody else is doing just because, well, everyone else is doing it. Now, peer pressure isn't always a bad thing. You can have positive peer pressure. I've got some friends at my school, and they're really smart, and they get really good grades. And after I started hanging out with them, I kind of started getting better grades too, because their study habits kind of became my study habits. But there are a lot of times where people are doing something, even if it's a lot of people that are doing something, and it's not a good thing. So the other day I was at the playground, and there were a whole bunch of kids, and they were all jumping off of the jungle gym, really high up. They were jumping down from a really tall jungle gym. And I watched probably 8 or 10 kids jump off of this jungle gym. And I knew that looked like a really bad idea, like I was going to bust my leg. But I thought, well, all these other kids are doing it, so it must be okay. So I climbed up on the jungle gym, and I jumped off, and yeah, busted my leg really good. I had to walk around on crutches for like a month. And I had seen all these other kids doing it, and they were fine, but it did not turn out okay for me. And I knew that it looked like a bad idea, right? I did not think that this was a good idea, but I did it anyways because that's what everybody else was doing. In the Bible, God says that we should not conform to the pattern of this world, but that we should be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And basically what that's saying is that we shouldn't just, always go with the flow and always do what everybody else is doing, because if you never make your own decisions, if you just do what everybody else is doing, eventually you're going to get pretty busted up, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. You see, God wants us to make wise decisions. And a big part of that is, making decisions and not just doing what everybody else is doing. So my challenge to you guys today is this. It's that next time you see a whole bunch of people doing something and you think that that's probably a bad idea, pay attention. God wants us to make decisions based on what we know to be true and what God tells us to do. He doesn't want us to just do what everybody else is doing. He wants us to live for Him. And the other part of this challenge is, God wants us to make our own decisions based on what He tells us to do and what we know to be right. But I think it's also a really good idea to surround ourselves with friends who are doing what is right also. That way, any peer pressure in our lives is positive peer pressure that helps us to grow. So we should find friends that help us, not hurt us. So let's all do our best to not just go with the flow and not just do what the crowd is doing, but to live God's way. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And hey, today in the comment section, I want to hear from you guys. Do you have any tips to help you stand up to peer pressure? I find that there are lots of different ways that people can resist negative peer pressure. And one way is just to surround yourself with friends that bring positive peer pressure. But I want to hear from you guys. What are some good ways that you and I can resist negative peer pressure?